I never said a woman can't teach. I never said a woman.
So you're contradicting Paul too.
As a matter of fact, I was the one who said, Concrete, if you were actually listening to my position, I said women can be in other power seats. I said women can run businesses. I said women can be teachers as in education.
Bro, we're talking about the context of the word of God, bro. Like, what are you doing now?
Don't use the word teach. So then don't use the word teach.
You know what the context is. Now you just, see, bro, that's some
when people hear that, when people hear
why are you doing this, bro? You take all the fun out of conversation when you turn it into
because when people hear teach in general context, when they hear you say that, they think
everybody knows the context that we're speaking of, bro.
No, they don't.
You're being dishonest right now.
No, I'm not. I'm clarifying for everybody. We're speaking specifically when it comes to scripture and when it comes to church matters. That's it. Outside of that, women can do whatever they want.
They always have something to say.
Bro, if Islam is so great, go to Iran. Go to these fucking terrorist nations. You can leave. You don't have to stay here.
No, Nicholas, but you have to be honest.
Shout out to the Islam terror.
No, but
I just want to say this, man. I want to know, like, if Concrete and King can, like, meet a middle ground.
Okay.
He isn't going to convince you that he's right, and you aren't going to convince him that you're right. Can y'all two meet in the middle ground?
Yeah, what's that? What's the middle ground? What is that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Nathan, you know me. Brothers in Christ, we can get as mad as we want. I'm always willing to have conversations. And, you know that. So I'm open. I'm open to that, of course. So
I just don't understand the dishonest tactics, bro.
Look,
Paul said you said I didn't say that. When I said that you didn't agree that women are allowed to teach, you said I did not say that. And what you meant was women are not allowed to teach in the context of spiritual matters.
That's what I said.
Like, those are two different things, bro.
I agree.
When you say I didn't say that, you did say it, because all you're saying is there was a context that was missing, but there's no context.
You didn't provide the context.
That's dishonesty, bro.
You're
being dishonest.
You just
I
provided.
don't need to provide the context because we all know what's going on here.
You provided the context.
We all know, bro. Now you're bearing false witness, bro. Bearing false witness.
Because you know when people.
I'm gonna leave you alone, bro. This is I hate when I deal with somebody talking about they want to talk about Christianity and they sitting there lying their ass off to make
Concrete. Just be honest, bro. Just be honest.
So, Concrete,
because you provided the context and you did it so eloquently. You just provided it. You could have done that. In spiritual matter, you could have done that. You refused to, though. Because you know the other phrase you said is
stop bearing false witness, man. You don't have to do that.
Like I said, women can't teach in all contexts.
King, you got a demon.
All right, fair enough. I'm a demon. You're right. They call us Yoruba demon.
You have a demon.
Okay. What's up, Leroy?
Why would you say in this conversation that you hate, maybe you didn't say you hate Christianity, but why you think that people are more drawn to Islam?
Yeah.
The context, wait a minute, in the context of whether women, right, have the right to teach it all. Why did you start your argument there?
Yeah, I said that Islam, because and it's unfortunate, but the way that Islam treats
I'm saying the personal feeling, not what you think Islam is teaching.
Okay.
Personal, vulnerable conviction of why you feel that way in this analysis.
Feel that way about what? I'm trying to see what
you express the feeling.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that way?
Okay, if everyone knows because King always talking, he's always trying to demolish.
Wait, but let him answer for a second.
Your galaxy, right? Please move him. You told Leroy. You talking about when I said I don't hate Muslims, but I hate Islam?
I think you said that you understand why people are more.
Why men are more drawn to Islam? Why men are being drawn to.
King and I have had conversations. And we've known each other on the half for quite a long time. Yeah. So the point is that we have came to an agreement. And our views are similar. And so unfortunately, it's just one of those situations that you have to be in a room to understand. King is definitely one friend of the Muslims, for real.
But wait, let him answer, please. Let him...
No, Leroy, he's correct. And Umar, I love Umar because, Umar is a great example of what I mean when Muslims like him talk, it's very enticing to men because Islam presents a clear distinction between how God deals with men and how God deals with women, and there's no compromising. They don't compromise with anybody. We used to be the same, Leroy, and that's from our traditions. As a matter of fact, I would argue that Muslims get their tradition from us, of course, and we used to have a clear distinction as Christians between how God deals with men and how God deals with women. But unfortunately, in the modern day times, we've lost that distinction, whereas Islam has kept it. And so Islam looks a lot entitled men now, without Bible, without scripture, without anything. Just take a man. A man looks around him and observes that there's an order to things. There's an order because if he's not following that order, he's the one. Men, us, we take on the brunt of risk in the environment if we don't follow the order. That's why men are very keen on trying to find a scripture, trying to find the thing that lays out an order that they can follow. And we don't do that anymore. Christians don't do that anymore, whereas Islam still does that.
And I will concur with this brother. In fact, we do consider the Injil a message from God, and we probably do derive some of our concepts from Christianity. We have no problem but saying that. Real Muslims don't have no problem saying that. The other point that he's bringing up, which is very valid, is that we don't allow our women to lead us in prayer.
Period.
And we also have a very strong derivative directive to say we maintain and we protect our women, point blank, no exception to the rules. They do not protect us.
So point blank again, Christianity failed and have it wrong as the conversation about where women's role is.
No, Christianity didn't fail. Christians failed. Let's be clear. The scriptures are very clear.
The scripture is clear. It's people that change it.
Exactly. The Christians failed.
How he feels about how when he made that statement, is that your conclusion? Is that when the men fell or Christianity?
Yeah, I just told you the Christianity didn't fail. The scriptures didn't fail. It was Christians who failed.
My point, you're using Islam as a prerequisite of how men are the government, but then you can't say. I'm not saying you're saying this, but you're not saying that Christianity is the reason why men don't govern the right way?
No, sir. Listen to what I said, Leroy. Christianity didn't fail. Christians failed. Right? So it's making the distinction between the ideology, the information, right, the codified doctrines versus the humans that need to implement it. If I give you a set of instructions for how to make a car and you forget the wheels, well, you don't have a car. In the same way, if I give you a set of instructions for how men and women are to operate, and you only follow the women, or you change the women to operate like the men, you're the one who's not implementing the instructions that I gave you.
But you said that's why people are attracted to Islam.
Yes.
You never
and
said,
Umar laid it out.
Yeah, but you made a distinction between. So you put religion on the table when you said why people are attracted to Islam, as if though Islam is the reason why men follow strictly, and Christianity may be a reason why men don't follow strictly, because that's implied in your.
Yeah, because right, as you saw here today, you have men arguing for females to lead and for females to be in position God did not design them to be in.
So is
right?
that Christians' fault? And so now you're saying two things.
Yeah, that's our fault. Yes. But we're not implementing God's law and God's order. We're not doing that.
You sound like you're saying the order, the way Christianity is set up, makes it possible for men not to follow order as a juxtaposition. The way Islam is set up makes it impossible for men not to follow order.
No. Okay, so I see what you might be getting at. So, okay, let me make this clear, because we are starting to actually see this with Islam specifically in the West. In the same way, and this can happen with any set of instructions that are given to humans. Islam is a set of instructions. If it's in an environment in which people are free to change those instructions, like the West, you will end up getting the same thing. We've already seen the first LGBTQ mosque in California, right? We've seen that. They've opened in California. There's one. It's there. We've heard arguments here on Clubhouse, homosexuals and other outlets.
But there's a bigger argument
that making an argument.
There's a bigger argument for that, though.
Oh, my bad.
Hold on. No, go ahead. I'll wait till you finish.
Yeah, absolutely. No worries. So we're starting to see, when given the right environment, Islam itself can also be changed. The instructions can be melded, can be turned to more look like an image of whatever. We see that those instructions can be changed too. I'm just saying overall, though, Islam has a strong fist when it comes to
Republican, are you streaming on Instagram? Republican?
So,
if you're
my
not
question
streaming,
is this,
it's not a problem. But if you're streaming,
I can't believe Monica came in. We were there for about 10 minutes before they finally kicked us. Kind of funny. Interesting content, but I mean, you know, I guess the Monica thing at the end is what really makes that great. Without her at the very end, oh, that was just wonderful. Thank you, Monica, for making my day. You make it all possible and worthwhile, Monica.
I want to know, like, if Concrete and Pink, like, meet a middle ground. He's going to convince you that he's right, and you aren't going to convince him that you're right. Can y'all two meet in the middle ground?
Yeah, what's that? What's the middle ground? What is that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Nathan, you know me. Brothers in Christ.
I met the men, then they got mad different, you know, they got ODB, and then, you know, that's what made them valid. It was them Brooklyn niggas, cause you know, they be stealing shit, so niggas got scared. Like, yeah, let me fuck with Wu-Tang, cause Staten Island niggas do crack.
Hey, not
y'all was rapping about it. Y'all was rapping about it like, I remember when I used to do crack in the hallway. I said, hold on.
Hey, that young nigga, I'm gonna tell you like this.
Nah, Ghostface Killer and Rakim. Nah, I'm about to pull the song up. Let me post it and see. Mr. Mickey, they out here, Staten Island out here promoting crack. I ain't fucking.
Hey, the drugs out here promoting dope. Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about the niggas with the firearms on court.
Listen.
Out here looking like he looking for booty.
Listen, let me post this. So let me hit the link on the Summer Jam screen so y'all can see the receipt, because this is why I respect Queens, because Queens got Nas, they got Eric B, you know what I'm saying? Like, some real Queen niggas, you know, I give y'all that, but Staten Island, this is why we don't fuck with y'all.
And the niggas had to run the book.
No.
Yeah.
BK and Q always been a thing. Staten Island, we lit y'all zombie meth heads in the building. Y'all motherfuckers, first thing y'all want to scream it. First thing y'all want to talk about on the album is I did crack in the hallway. I said, nigga, what? Oh, nah, send them back. Put them back on the ferry. We do not want y'all. Listen, Keith Murray got Long Island looking crazy because he out here just saying any word that he found in the thesaurus, and he on crack right now. But you know what? He ain't just come out here talking about crack. It took him 20 years. Y'all niggas was in y'all.
I was trying to zoom in on that address to that hotel he was at. I was damn sure about to come out of retirement for that nigga.
Oh no. No, you need to come out of retirement for Ghostface Killer doing that crack in the wall wax.
You love me, Donald. And that wasn't even, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't even Ghost Gang.
Okay, was it Raquel? Or was it, who was doing it?
Yeah, well, like, I killed my
What's his brother's name? Because you know they got two different fathers. They don't look alike.
They not brothers, yo. Where you getting this shit?
Oh, I thought they was brothers. When they made that song, All That I Have with Mary J. Blige, they was talking about how they was eating cereal with water and
That
sugar.
was one person, you know?
Please come home now. I got beans and blow now.
Like, you coming in here with that bullshit. You hear us talking about the crackheads of Staten Island. You trying to do Rick James performance. Like, bitch, sit down for 2 minutes. But we over here, we trying to get the business clear with all the fiends of motherfucking Staten Island. You want to come over here and do your fucking atrocious tricks.
I want to play with that shit. The Bronx cannot say anything about things.
Shout out to the Bronx. If it wasn't for the Bronx, this rap shit, what? Yeah. Where you from? Uptown, baby. Uptown, baby. No crack, baby. No crack, baby.
Yard in her room, doesn't she want to continue to have that little, information 24/7?
Yeah, but this is the thing, though. It doesn't matter because all she's going to do is not admit that Ryan sent it to her or she got it from him, if that makes any sense. That's how she's going to keep getting her info.
Hey, we have somebody down in the audience recording us.
Hello? I'm not recording shit. You recording shit, Adams, and Jay-Z record shit. You all record shit now doing what I do. Fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, exactly, Rick. Tell that bitch what's what.
All right. Well, we're going to leave, Rick. We'll come back when Republican leaves, okay?
Yeah, I'm going to leave.
You shouldn't talk because that's going to be recorded. I hope you know, and Abby will hear it later.
Yeah, Jack, let's start over.
Well, I don't want to leave Rick like that. I'll go to another room until Republican leaves. I'll be back.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'm just going to leave, too. I'll be back in a little bit.
February, I paid $4,180. March, I had a revenue dip, which is $37,0134. And then this month so far, I'm a little low. It's $1,655.42.
That's fucking amazing.
Yes, but I wanted to get over 5K this month, but it's looking like it's not gonna happen. My show that I usually review is on hiatus though, but it is about to come out, so maybe we should be going.
Hampton, let's create some new content. I'm your #1 fan.
Oh goodness.
Just have faith in the creative process, Hampton, and I'll take you to 10,000 a month, and you'll just have to give me my 50% cut.
50%? Whoa. Hell no.
Hell no. I know. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll create content for you for free if you create content for me for free.
What content? What's the point? Yeah, what?
We're gonna create audiobooks.
Audiobooks?
Yeah.
So we read books and record them and sell them for money?
No, we read books that are out of copyright, like ancient philosophical texts that are very popular, and those will get millions of views on your channel, and you can monetize the shit out of them. And it'll be incredible wisdom and psychological, information, upload, download for you personally and for all the listeners. It's like high value content.
But I feel like if I was gonna do that, I would want to make a whole separate account, a separate YouTube account for that.
Yeah, create a separate account. Call it Hampton the Philosopher.
Interesting.
Yeah, and just read philosophy books, and because it's all hypnosis. You see what I'm saying? Where if it's high value information, the algorithm's going to like it, the users are going to like it, and I do believe that all communication is hypnosis. So you might as well curate high value content, which is really just getting scripts from a script store and reading those scripts on YouTube. It's the same shit. It's audio. People are listening. So you just need really high value content to read, and you're going to monetize it. I mean, I'm trying, but I can't get traction. I mean, I don't have an account totally. I do have an account totally dedicated. You want to see my philosophy YouTube account? I mean, it's only got like 100 subscribers, but some of the videos.
Sure.
Yeah, let me find you. I read the prayers of Rebbe Nachman. And
what you should do is actually like market the account instead of just like putting stuff out there.
No, this account.
Can you promote it?
No, I can't actually access this account anymore. I don't.
Because I know there's on my videos there's a button that I can press that says promote, and then it's like
Ready, e-commerce pioneer who hosts our step-by-step WordPress onboarding.
I can pay to have my video shown like to more people.
Well, I mean, I would definitely see what the ROI is on that, and then go from there.
Simon, you talk as it. Do you even have a YouTube account, Simon?
Well, I run social media.
Oh, so you work in marketing. Oh, okay. Well, then you know what you're talking about. I was just like, God damn it! Is this another motherfucker just voicing an opinion just to talk?
No.
He did have. He even went on camera. He was on camera in one of his videos.
No, but that was just a spec ad that I like threw together in like 2 hours. That was literally just me testing equipment. That was it. That's all that was.
But still, that was good. That was just a test.
Yeah, now I'm making a masterclass.
I would like to kind of upgrade like my set, for lack of a better word, but I don't even really go on camera that much.
Ciao.
I usually just do my audio.
Production quality.
Hampton,
That's getting better though.
You could also sell, master classes in hypnosis.
What?
Yeah, I'm serious. People are fast. This is the funny thing about the hypnosis business is it's a self-feeding thing. But my point is, if you look at Tony Robbins, what he's really doing is he's in the hypnosis business, and he's providing his audiences and with content, in person and through discs and online stuff. It's all hypnosis, but it's basically him just taking psychological information and presenting it to you and making you feel good and raising your dopamine feedback loops. But he's not going to give you a fucking business. You see what I'm saying? Like, what can Tony Robbins really do for you other than hypnotize you into thinking that you can be successful? But what he's really doing is he's running a hypnosis scam. So what I'm trying to tell you is that what you create, the content you create, you're essentially taking, obviously, you're reproducing, or you are reframing, or you are giving a reaction video to that content. So your hypnosis plus their hypnosis equals your success. So what I'm trying to say is you don't have to limit yourself to just that one television show or any television show. You can step outside of reframing content and just, I'm telling you, you can read a book. You could have Hampton reads a book.com, and like that's actually, it's the same shit. It's all hypnosis. It's up to you, the creator, the content, procure, to create that powerful hypnosis for your audience. But it's still a labor of love, and it's like there's no guarantee of success. It's just brutal. But if you check out that YouTube channel I have in the chat, that's called philosophyvideos.com, and that was my attempt at creating reading philosophy books. So on that channel, I have Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Lao Tzu, Zhuangzi, and Rebbe Nachman. So those are like 5 philosophers that I have, actually read their whole book start to finish on YouTube, and it's powerful psychology. It's a hypnosis, though.
This was 7 years ago.
Yep. I did that in Redondo Beach when I lived in Los Angeles.
And what do you do now? Just record shit on
No,
Clubhouse?
No, I'm a project manager for a commercial real estate construction company.
Okay, cool. Very good. Do you buy your own properties as well?
I own one multifamily unit property, that I live in and I manage.
Nice.
Oh, it's so much more calm in here. How's everybody doing?
How many people? How many doors?
5 doors total.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
What I'd like to do is chop it up even more and make it into 7 doors and put it all on Airbnb and turn my 1 bedrooms into 2 bedroom 1 baths. And then make it like a shared apartment place, yeah.
Do you clean your own Airbnb or do you contract it out?
No, I clean it all myself. It's a bitch.
Yeah.
So does my mom.
I would same here. Well, you can't the amount it costs to you end up either breaking even or coming out of pocket.
Yeah.
To clean it.
I don't mind cleaning it because when I clean it, I know every single square inch of every single, and I know every item that I placed in there. It's like your own boutique hotel that you're personally fucking, everything. So it's like when somebody fucks with your shit, you're like, you did it all. So it's like when you walk somebody into your Airbnb, if it's not fully automated, it's like they got to know, like, this is my private place. I cleaned this, and I expect it to return.
Do you have a checklist as far as for example, my parents, I was like, when I first went in it, I was like, kind of smells like smoke in here. And then she was like, see, I told your father that too. I'm like, well, what? It smells like fucking smoke, but it's like, who did it? Who do you pin it on? So do you have a checklist of things you go through, or no, not really?
Like a move in, move out sheet.
Yeah, because that person checked out, so you got to go through and see if you need to pin any charges on them, or you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do not do a move in, move out sheet. I just have a frequently asked question sheet, but I should do a move in, move out sheet. You're right.
My mom cleans because especially when they have dogs or pets. She was cleaning one time, she found pee spots. She's like, "Ooh, I'm not giving them back their deposit, or I'm charging them a cleaning fee." I'm like, "Oh shit," because they did pee in her thing, but that's why she wanted to clean it herself, so she could see what damage there was, so she could charge them a fee, which is smart.
Yeah, I mean the deposit.
The dog did pee.
Yeah, I mean I have a tenant in my coach house right now who has a dog, and in her lease it specifically says absolutely no pets whatsoever. And so when she moves out, the fact that she violated her lease and she has a dog that's in the house all day long, she never walks it. I know that my coach house is fucked. So I do want to kick her out, but she is also paying rent, but she doesn't pay rent in full, but she does catch up. My point is, it's once she leaves, I have a huge project in my hands and I don't necessarily want to do that project. So it's you can stay there maybe for a year and fuck it up more. But like, I just don't want to do all that work right now when she leaves.
Are you gonna charge her like fees for the part or the sewer?
No, I'm gonna keep her deposit and say, yeah, like this is all the damage, this is how much it's costing. You have to provide an accounting of all the fees and what you're taking out of her deposit. You know, basically you give her an invoice.
But
or an estimate.
how long has she been there?
Like a year and a half, maybe.
The reason I asked that question is because there's, at least I know where I'm at, as far as like carpet and paint, like whatever falls under normal wear and tear. As long as your plan doesn't conflict with that and you could somehow come out on top, having her move out sooner. I don't know what the law is where you're at though.
These are, this is the problem with real estate is like, when I talk to my mom about real estate, it gets really annoying really quick. It's like a conversation you actually.
Yo, Republican, what's up, brother?
What's up, dude?
Why you switching up your persona, you fucking black nigger?
How did this go from?
What happened to your nigger?
I just went from 0 to 100.
Monsignor, why'd you kick him? He's a fan. I don't understand. He's a fan of my song. Please. Oh, see, Hampton, this is what I want to do is like I want you to publish my music, and then everybody will be like, what the fuck is this? And you'll just be like, yeah, it's Hampton Spears Recording Incorporated. This is one of my artists. His name is, Edmund. And this is my song. I mean, it's Please come home now. I got beans and bologna. I mean, put that into a short, and it's gonna go viral on your account and get like 80,000 views. And I mean, I don't need the money, Hampton, but just let me help. Let me get the satisfaction of trolling on YouTube through your YouTube account and like cost you your YouTube account and get it banned for like creating annoying content.
Why do you like to troll so much?
I don't know. I grew up prank calling in high school and like prank calling fellow classmates. Like with other friends, we would get together on a Saturday and like prank call classmates and talk to their parents and pretend we were like the dean and shit. So I don't know. The Clown House, you can just go to room after room after room and just keep getting dopamine feedback loops by prank calling people. And it's just like I'm creating content, but I mean, the only thing that's public is YouTube. Everything else is private Instagram. So in the future, like I have Instagram accounts with thousands of videos. Like in the future, hopefully one day, if Instagram like kind of changes their platform, it's possible I could download my entire catalog off of Instagram and put it all up into YouTube. But I don't know, it's a labor of love, man, and it's not possible to do these huge upload downloads, and it's not possible for me to like even catalog my content. It's all on private Instagram. So
well, I just gotta say, just let me interrupt real quick. If you do that, please don't put anything that would damage my brand. Any recordings that are sensitive, be saying controversial things, just edit me out.
I can't edit you out. I live stream on Instagram. There's no editing you out, but you're not.
When you put it on YouTube or when you have that catalog that you're gonna release, if it ever happens.
It's not targeted. It's not like I'm ever going to mention your name. Like if anybody hears you, they won't even know it's you because it's somebody in Zimbabwe listening and they have absolutely no clue what they're even listening to. Like anybody in any of my recordings has nothing to worry about because nobody can ascribe it to who you are just based on hearing you. You know how small of a world that would be?
I have a very distinct voice though.
Yeah, but you've never said anything that I've heard which is, a violation of any kind of decorum or law. I mean, you're not.
Me just being a Zionist could fuck me up. Me talking pro-Israel could fuck me up.
Yeah, but I'm not. Anyways, you don't have to worry about my shit because nobody looks at my shit. So I don't know what you fucking even worry about. I'm really just talking like generally for your benefit because you have a successful YouTube. So I'm just trying to tell you that you shouldn't limit yourself to just what you're doing. Like you need to create another YouTube channel and make it a book reading YouTube channel because the algorithm favors you. So the more you give the algorithm, the more success you're getting. You need to not worry so much about quality of content, but quantity of content. That's where you're going to make your revenue go from 10,000 to 30,000 because you're able to upload a tremendous amount of content. and you
Bro,
can target by
I
keywords.
make $30,000 a month.
What's up, Ryan? How are you?
That much money a month, 30,000.
I'm okay.
You can make
How
it. You can do it.
Good, no drama.
No, I mean, like, what would you do for 30,000? Like, what would you do with that amount of money, like, a month? Like, what would I do?
You would buy you would start spending it, and you would invest it, and you would enjoy life more, and you would use the money for more
I
production.
would probably eat out real good food. I would go travel. I wouldn't even get a new car. My car's paid off. I wouldn't even get a new house. Like, I already live in a nice house. I don't know. I just travel a lot more.
No, bro, you'd start buying more stuff. You'd start buying artwork. You'd start buying collectibles. You'd start buying more production equipment. You'd start buying more furniture. You'd start buying everything.
I want to live a life of leisure. That's my thing. I like leisure. I don't want to work. Like, for me, just the sheer fact of not having to go to work every single day and work a 9 to 5 and make money, that is like winning the lottery to me.
It is.
Wait, Hampton, are you still like a socialist? Like, you would like want 90% taxes and stuff?
Not anymore. Not anymore.
I've always been a mixed market person. I loved advocated for a strong social safety net. I believe in Medicare for all. And if people's taxes have to go up, including mine, so be it. Because guess what? We all benefit.
We actually don't. Like, in the long run, we don't. But I'm just asking because of the amount of money you were making. That's why I asked.
If I was making that money, well, that's if I started making. Right now, I'm not at that point. But if I started making that, honestly, then yeah, I would try to be. If I made that amount of money, I would pay taxes fair. I mean, I would be like, okay.
But why don't you just? That's why I don't understand. Why would you need it forcefully removed from you? Why don't you just give it to yourself?
What do you mean forceful? What do you mean forcefully removed from me? Like,
well, you said. Well, I mean, like, the government threatens you to give that money to them.
I'm charging them. But like, so like that's how they get their money from the government. People are just gonna give it to them. People are not just gonna.
That's what I'm saying. Why don't you just do it? No, but I'm saying you're saying you believe in a strong safety net. You want health care and Medicare and
college, higher education as well.
Well, what do you? I mean,
oh my God! So we all get together. We all decide who's going to represent us, and then they tell us. Because we agree with them, they set what the fucking tax rate is, which you would voluntarily pay if you want to contribute or participate.
Who wants to contribute?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? You just said it helps you out in the long run. So you want the things, you want the benefits of your government.
But I don't want to get into
if taxes were not mandatory, I would not pay them. And
No,
if they
they are mandatory. What the
fuck? If they weren't, though, I would not pay them.
But why though?
Because I'm a cheap, and most people are cheap bastards. Well, not cheap bastards, but we don't want to pay the government. Most people hate taxes, including me. No one likes to pay them.
Because the judge that's going to kick out the squatter in your fucking...
So wait,
how can
you advocate for higher taxes at some point for yourself in the future, but you just admitted that you don't like paying it? If they weren't mandatory, you wouldn't. So you're advocating for higher mandatory taxes, but you just simply admitted that you wouldn't fucking pay any taxes if it were mandatory. How the fuck do you hold those two ideas simultaneously in your head?
Because we need a government to function. Right? In order for the government to function, it needs revenue that they collect from taxes.
So then from that, you would say I would want to pay taxes. You wouldn't say I wouldn't want to.
Would you want to pay taxes?
Yes, because I want a functioning government.
You would willingly pay your taxes if it wasn't voluntary.
Yes, absolutely. Because I see the value in a government. Just like how you see the value
money to the ad block. Do you give the money to the ad block? I never do.
Yeah, I paid for it.
See, I never give money to the ad block.
Yeah, but you see, Hampton, this is called a value for value exchange.
Yeah, but does anyone feel like they actually? But does anyone feel
convince you that he's right, and you aren't gonna convince him that you're right? Can y'all two meet in the middle ground?
Yeah, what's that? What's the middle ground? What is that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Nathan, you know me. Brothers in Christ, we can get as mad as we want. I'm always willing to have conversations, and you know that. So I'm open. I'm open to that force. So I just.
I think cost less.
anywhere in the world.
No,
I felt like those fees were worth the money, and not a fucking single penny I've ever paid to my local government. It feels like extortion.
It sounds like you were at a rich country club, private community gated.
Yeah, and it was amazing because fees for the fees. You're dumb as fuck if you're not listening. The fees to live in that community, outside of the property price, the annual fees to have your bins collected, your trash collected, for the private security, for all the grass and the flower beds and the lighting and the functions and the statues and the fucking security staff and whatever. All of that was less annually than I paid the local government.
Right, but you have to have the money to live there. You have to already afford some.
It's irrelevant. You're not. That's an amazing argument. It doesn't matter whether you have the money to live inside that resort. The point is that resort could more effectively manage and give people a higher return of value on their investment. They're spending that every year, right?
But it is.
Why is the local government so ineffective? Why is the local government so ineffective?
I don't know, but I'm just saying. But it is mandatory for people to pay that in order to live in that area.
Sure.
Like, if it wasn't mandatory, would people pay it?
Well, it's not mandatory. You can choose to not live in there, and you can choose to not pay those fees, right? But you cannot. Tell me where you can opt out of paying local government property taxes. You can. It's mandatory, right? So it's not mandatory to pay those fees. If you want to go live there, it's optional. But people do so. They exercise the option to do so because of the high value of return that they feel that they get.
Right. No, I'm not.
So where is the return people are getting from their local governments, where there's trash and homelessness and fucking graffiti? Like, I never saw a single bit of fucking graffiti in the resort in my life. Never saw a homeless person. There was no trash. It's a beautiful environment.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm not saying government is the best, most efficient thing out there. Like you said, where you lived out, seems, like a very wealthy area, country club, But just in general, taxes have always been there with us, even in the Bible. In old age, they're just here. It's like death and taxes. You know what I mean? It's just a fact of life. Yes, I think they should be paid. No, if they were not mandatory, would I pay them? Certainly not the amount I would if it
What do you mean by it's a fact of life? Taxes?
Well, yeah, what they say. Nothing.
Do you realize for 1913, where there were roads and there was a police force and there was a fire service, that there was no income tax?
Okay, but there was no income, but there was no
taxes. Are not just a fact of life. That's just a fucking.
But there were other taxes.
Hampton, I think
income tax.
I think with you the good thing about what you're saying, because it is a good faith conversation. I think what we need to discuss is you and I both don't want to see homelessness. You and I both don't want people to have poor health care. You and I both don't want kids not to be able to go to school. I think that's a good starting block. And then the question becomes, what is the best methodology to be able to provide these types of services? Now, your idea, it stems from, okay, I want to be able to see the government provide the service. And I'm saying I want it to be a market solution where people are able to pay, and then we both need to look out into the world, look at the systems, and then be able to say, okay, what's the quality of service? What are the prices people are paying, and does it actually work? And then we have to look at historical evidence and say, okay, what is the most efficient? So, I mean, I usually bring this more into a moral question as to people should have the freedom, but for the sake of this argument, on a pragmatic level, Obamacare destroyed the insurance company. The insurance companies raised everybody's premiums by 2 or 3 times, if not more. And
well, I will say that's because they didn't do the full single payer option. They did the half-ass shit for Obamacare.
It wasn't real communism. It wasn't real communism.
It wasn't real.
No,
yes, we half-assed it. We half-assed it.
Hampton. It doesn't matter. The entire point is if there even were a few cases where people went into insurance companies and said, okay, now that I'm able to like get quote unquote insured, like that's a nuclear bomb on people basically saying like, hey, listen, like I never opted into your system, but like now my treatment costs like $2 million, and like I'm like no problem, I'll pay you like your $400 a month. So it's kind of like it's a complete like net loss on like these companies, and they're saying, okay, well, you know what? If I was just forced into accepting this person, everybody's gonna be paying for this because that's how insurance works. So basically, like the insurance company said, okay, listen, the way like we can't absorb these costs, and the government is forcing us to absorb these costs, so everybody's gonna have to pay, otherwise we go bankrupt. And that's
bankrupt, really, even though they have like record profits year after year.
What about services?
I don't like when people say like record profits, because like record profits only means like in like a better year because of inflation. So like the best metric to observe is more of like the cost to profit ratio year per year, and like that doesn't really change. So like let's say for example like Costco, like 1 year they made like let's say like $50 billion, okay, let's just say, and then the next year, oh, it's a record year, we just made $53 billion. Yeah, but the $3 billion that was made up is just because of the
But what if it's
inflation.
like 50 years? No, what if it's like, what if they do like the what they adjust for inflation, and it's still year after year the profits go up?
But that's just not the case. That's what I'm saying. That's not the case.
But no, companies, they like their profits have gone up besides inflation, right? Adjusted for inflation, their profits have still gone up.
That's what I'm saying.
What about being forced to pay for services which you do not benefit from? Like if you have 0 children, but you have to pay in local taxes, which fund schools. Or if you have 1 child where someone else has 4 children, you are disproportionately paying more for the same service as someone else. You're not receiving that same value. As me, I live in a 4-bedroom house. I'm taxed more than someone in a 1-bedroom apartment. So I have to pay more, yet I'm a individual, right? Like my trash, that gets collected is the same as if I was in an apartment but why the fuck am I disproportionately penalized, right? To pay for things that I don't benefit from.
Look, that's the way you want to look at it. That's your right.
How do I don't benefit from the private
I mean, okay, listen. Okay, you might not directly benefit, but do you want to live in a society where there are educated people walking around? And not just those
do you
that
call
have the money
the average
and means?
American educated?
More so than they were.
I beg to differ.
Well, no, I mean, historically, if you do look at the numbers, like I think like higher education, like maybe not like elementary school or high school, but definitely higher education should definitely be only for people who are able to actually
benefit.
Right, no, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about elementary. I'm talking about elementary. No, I'm talking about elementary. I'm talking about kids, not high school.
Oh, but elementary school, it's very cheap to
right, and that's what I'm
subsidize.
Saying. So it's like,
but I don't want the government to do that though. I'm saying like if I had there could be so many different ways of doing this. Like
how? Not
the way the
Amish,
not country club. They have their own schools. They have their own teachers. It's incredibly affordable. Like it's not complicated, but regardless, you're still skipping past the point. Why is it just that there are people who pay for services that they do not benefit? They're forced to pay. There's no opting out. How is that fair?
Well, I mean,
it's not fair. But what's the term? Life's not fair. It's just some things in life are
you
just
have these
gotta do.
Life's not fair.
No, but
that's the
I mean,
I would definitely. Taxes are not just. Taxes have you don't realize that
your country went to war for like 2% tax. Like I'm just saying.
The taxes have always been around. Okay.
No, but Hampton. I think that the fundamental question is like deep down morally. Like,
deep down morally, okay, you're saying it's not moral for someone to force you to pay for something that you don't want, or you know what I'm saying?
I'm saying if you accept that, I accept that. We all accept
slavery, right? I don't have to pay because you're a liberal. If I have to pay 50% of my income, let's just make the math really simple. I don't pay 50%. But let's say I pay 50%. That means I have to work until July for the government before I fucking get to work for myself. The first 6 months of the fucking year, because you better believe it that Uncle Sam gets paid first over you. So I have to work 6 months of the fucking year to pay for other people.
Well, I mean, just think of it in years. Like if you work 40 years, you just lost 20.
Yeah, but it also pays for stuff that you use as well.
Like,
David.
I'll opt out of the streetlights, turn the fucking streetlights out in front of my house. I'll deal with my own waste.
Okay, so get rid of the police.
What about the police?
Get rid of all the roads. The roads you drive on are paid for by your taxes.
Hold on. If we can agree on the role of government, then let's do that. Police, judiciary, military, and the role is to protect our rights. Now, if we all agree on that, your roads don't need to be paid for by the government. An insurance company has every incentive to make sure that people are driving on proper roads so that your car doesn't fucking break down or whatever it might be. There could be people who actually own the roads. There could be transport companies who own roads. There's a million different types of ways that there's a million different incentives for people to own a road. I mean, let's not even, especially in 2024. So, like this idea of like, oh, who's gonna take care of the road? There's a lot of people that can take care of roads. A lot of people. Like I work in logistics. I know a lot of people in the insurance companies. There's a lot of incentives. When it comes to police, absolutely. If someone gets murdered or someone breaks into your house, you want recourse. Yes, you want to be able to sue someone for some sort of breach of contract. Absolutely, it's in your interest to fund the government for police and judiciary. If you don't want to get invaded from fucking a foreign country, fine. Fund the military. That's your responsibility as a citizen, and that's all it would have to be. Next, if you want to see kids be educated, donate to a private charity or to a local school that you think is going to do well. Even if you don't have kids, whatever, and if you don't like kids, then don't donate. But there's so many ways around this. Like people just try and neglect responsibility constantly, and they just say, okay, you know what? Let's delegate everything to a government, and then when the government goes to shit, everybody's like, oh, well, what's going on? I don't understand. It's like, do better and be better, and you're gonna live in a better society for it. Like it's not that hard.
Well, do you feel the same way about corporate welfare? Like, for example,
absolutely.
Right? The government funds research for health companies, like pharmaceutical companies, to make their drugs, right? They do that.
No,
but they do.
No, I'm saying they don't do it efficiently. Like it's not.
Well, but they provide funding.
How much?
But hold on, just wait. They provide funding for private companies to do research. But when the drug comes out, guess what? The private companies keep the profits that they've made from the research that the government taxpayer has afforded them. You see what I mean? That's the unfair.
Hampton, let's choose a recent example. The CHIPS Act, right? We just gave how much? Like $6 billion to Samsung to build a chips factory in Arizona. So first of all, they didn't give him $6 billion. They're giving him tax. They're not going to have to pay tax up to $6 billion. Yeah, but the idea is they're going to build up that town. They're going to hire people. They're going to have less reliance on foreign sources of those type of chips. So it's an incentive for us to do that. We won't see anything in the near term, anywhere near the near term, to make a difference in that $6 billion. But in the long term, it does.
You
it
still
does
lose.
help. So.
No, it doesn't. And if you
I think it does.
Right, government investment.
No, and I'll tell you why it doesn't.
Government investment.
I'll tell you why it doesn't. Because number one, it goes to Intel. Intel wasn't really like Intel. It's I mean I'm familiar with the CHIPS Act, and I know number one, they cried about, oh my God, it's a breach of it's for national security. We need a home base for these chips. Blah 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 blah. So yes,
we do.
No, you don't actually. Like.
Okay, this is
okay. So there was just an earthquake in Taiwan. Imagine if the earthquake was even worse. Like, what would happen to our chips?
To maintain that your own industry that can.
Well, I'll give you the economics of it, because I can't hear you, Tim. Sorry. But the economics is simple. If you're subsidizing or even giving these rebates, the only incentive that a manufacturer like this has is just to increase prices, and the only people. What?
Is it not in the government's interest, not for national security reasons, to ensure, even if it costs more than the open market, that they have their own independent, like within country, ability to manufacture steel products?
And also, yes, the prices of the inputs are going to be higher.
So that if a government in another country chooses to withhold or create tariffs or whatever it may be, restrict your ability to access that, then you are upstream without a fucking paddle.
And also, I guarantee you, like,
how else would you obtain it?
Once the manufacturing, Simon, real quick, once the manufacturing is in place with either Samsung or Intel, the tariffs for chips coming in from Taiwan, those tariffs are going to go up to match the prices in the U.S. That's
exactly. But who doesn't benefit from that? The consumer. Why raise tariffs? All you're doing is you're trying to make a competitive price by artificially raising the cost of everything. That's what inflation is.
No, because what will happen is TSMC has no other recourse than to lower their prices, which would then lower the prices to Samsung.
I think steel is a very simple and good example, right? What if
I deal with imports all the time, Simon. I know how that shit works.
What if
I know, I was literally in it.
What if there's another nation that doesn't believe what you believe and chooses to do something very underhanded and takes a long-term approach, like, for example, selling materials in the open market?
China did this, and they're not even. China did this. American steel went down as a result of it for like 10 years.
Precisely.
They weren't able to continue the subsidization. The American steel mills went back up. And as a result, right now, China isn't even the top 10 producer for America, or not even producer, but top 10 seller to the U.S.
Doesn't matter. The point is.
Well, that's the whole point.
The point is that there are industries which have to be for national security interests, which is part of one of the big three components you're saying of government. For the military, right? Not even just for the consumer, but for the military.
Protect your rights. I said to protect your rights.
The military protect your rights?
Yeah, of course.
Against
a foreign invader.
Exactly. So, are you going to give them, like, wooden spears? What natural resource? You're going to need an independent supply of steel and metals.
What if your country just can't produce that? So, like, what, you have to force a steel?
Well, you better go and invade another, by your metric, then you better go and invade another country and take over their resources.
What are you talking about? How is that by my metric? I don't understand that. Why would I go into another country and invade
because
to be able to have a steel company?
How are they going to ensure their supply?
By trading.
Okay.
We do this all the time. Like,
sure.
Like, there's no country on the planet that's not armed.
Countries don't go to war.
Okay.
Countries don't apply borders or restrictions upon one another.
But I don't want restrictions.
What happens
for any restrictions.
What happens if we turn out to be in the future on the wrong end of the stick? It's all well and good when the Western we're living in the American empire, right, where the Americans dominate the fucking global landscape. What happens if we live in an environment where we're on the short end of the stick and people are restricting goods coming in and commodities into our country?
America falls. I mean, America, the only reason that it's just so propped up at the moment, that's the only reason why. Americans have no idea what the rest of the world looks like. No idea. Okay, but then, I mean, Americans would, like, the average American would not be able to live like the average European.
Like, meet a middle ground. He isn't going to convince you that he's right, and you aren't going to convince him that you're...
I'm saying in general. Like the mindset of an average American would not be able to live like an average European.
I don't understand how what this is right. What do you say? Like in terms of
like the size of their homes, in terms of the roads, in terms of like Americans have like fucking six lanes for driving. Like just to get to my house is barely like one, and it's like there's like two.
I understand. I've lived in continental Europe. I grew up in the UK my entire life. I've driven many country roads. So these things are available to America because they are not burdened by prehistoric, like medieval fucking paths and roads which were carved there before them. But there are literally, on some of these country roads, there are farmhouses which there is no sidewalk. There's no, the width of the road is limited by the two fucking buildings because it was horse and cart before this. Where America has had a blank canvas essentially, and it's by comparison massive swaths of land, right, where there's just vast open space. So 6 lanes isn't an issue.
Yeah, but that's my point. Americans live in luxury compared to the rest of the world.
Sure, because it's a younger nation. Listen, this is like in like I don't know which country in Africa, it's like Nigeria or something, right? Where they are literally bypassing copper landline phones because that's just a fucking old technology, and it's much cheaper, better, faster to just put up masts everywhere. They are literally and for the longest time in the UK where I lived, our internet was limited because we didn't have fiber optic cables to the property. You had fiber optic cable to the exchange, and from your local exchange, you had a copper telephone line that went to your home. So you were burdened by the speed of the internet because your country is an older country. But if a country develops much later than yours, they won't worry about copper telephone lines. They'll either go straight to fiber optics or they'll bypass it entirely. And this is the kind of burden of Europe, which is these are old nations and have been civilized and developed for much longer than the rest of the world. So we have the friction and the burden of all these old things where if something's brand new like Dubai, they can just literally step over or bypass all of those things which are mistakes. Anyway, thankfully it took many years, but I finally now have fiber to my property and one of probably the fastest interconnections in a residential property on the planet. But what do you have? 1 gig up and down.
What I'm a little bit confused about is, are you still fighting over potatoes, or have you given up on the whole potato obsession?
I can go into the field across from my house and up and down as I want to. You've got what up and down?
2 up and down.
Nice. Yeah. You must be
really.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I get like 500-600 gig files like every day.
Listen, I've got to say, you two, your debate on economics has been absolutely flabbergasting. I've never heard such an accurate assessment. I'm speaking here. I've never heard such an accurate assessment of economic conditions and really understanding supply chain economics as well as everything else that goes into making a healthy economy run. So T-Robs and Simon, your ingenious rhetoric, your ingenious insight, your research, your hard work has truly been illuminating to me, and I can't thank you enough. So in the No Drama Room, I just want to say that you guys are brilliant, and that any corporation should hire you for fucking as advisors or as consultants, because you, T-Robs, in Northern Ireland, and Simon, whoever the fuck you are, you two are fucking geniuses, mate. Fucking genius. And with Hampton, the three of you are going to the tops. I'm just absolutely flummoxed.
This live stream is very profitable for you. Yeah, that was really loud. So, whereabouts are you? Which country are you in?
Beautiful environment.
Yeah, I'm in South France. And I was so surprised.
Right, I'm not saying government is the best, most efficient thing out there. Like you said, where you lived out, seems, like a very wealthy area, country club, but just in general, taxes have always been there with us, even in the Bible, in the old days, it's like death and taxes. I want to know.
Beautiful environment.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying government is the best, most efficient thing out there. Like you said, where you lived out, seems, like a very wealthy area, country club, but just in general, taxes have always been there with us, even in the Bible, in the old days, they're just here. It's like death and taxes. You know what I mean? It's just a fact of life. Yes, I think they should be paid. No, if they were not mandatory, would I pay them? Certainly not the amount I would if they
What do you mean by it's a fact of life? Taxes.
Yeah, what they say.
Do you realize before 1913, where there were roads and there was a police force and there was a fire service, that there was no income tax?
Okay, but there's no income, but there was no
taxes are not just a fact of life. That's just a fact of life.
But there were other taxes around connected besides the income tax.
I think with you, the good thing about what you're saying, because it is a good faith conversation. I think, what we need to discuss is, you and I both don't want to see homelessness. You and I both don't want, people to have, poor health care. You and I both don't want, kids not to be able to go to school. I think, that's a good starting block. And then the question becomes, what is the best methodology to be able to provide these types of services? Now, your idea, it stems from, okay, I want to be able to see the government provide the service. And I am saying I want it to be a market solution where people are able to pay. And then we both need to look out into the world, look at the systems, and then be able to say, okay, what's the quality of service? What are the prices people are paying, and does it actually work? And then we have to look at historical evidence and say, okay, what is the most efficient? So, I usually bring this more into a moral question as to people should have their freedom, but for the sake of this argument, on a pragmatic level,
I want to know, if concrete and pink, meet a middle ground. He isn't going to convince you that he's right, and you aren't going to convince him that you're right. Okay?
It's a beautiful environment.
Yeah.
A clear distinction between how God deals with men and how God deals with women, and there's no compromising. They don't compromise with anybody. We used to be the same, Leroy, and that's from our traditions.
It's a beautiful environment.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying government is the best, most efficient thing out there. Like you said, where you lived out,
Hampton Spears is a Zionist, everyone. He could be bad for my brand.
Just in general, taxes have always been there with us, even in the Bible, in the old days, they're just here. It's like death and taxes. You know what I mean? It's just a fact of life. Yes, have the amount I would if it
What do you mean by it's a fact of life? Taxes.
It has been edited in a way to construct and package and reveal and deliver information again that is esoteric belief systems.
There might be slight word, but here's here's one thing. Here's what I was. Let me go over this before I get into that. This is Philippians 2. Let this mind be in you, which is also.
1 second. Wait. Philippians 2, what verse?
Verse 5. Okay. Let this mind be in you, which also was in Christ Jesus, who being in the.
Hey, Amari, no offense, but like you do realize that with the puppies screaming in the background while you're reading scripture, like it's just not the greatest combination for background music. I just wanted to give you a quick update. Thanks, Amari.
So look, here's it. Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus, who in the form of God thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but made himself no reputation. Took upon him the form of a servant. So when he was on earth, he had to humble himself. He's making himself an example for us. Yeah, and he's telling us to be like Christ, right? We're trying to put this mind in you that was.
But there's still the component doesn't explain the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, though, right?
Well, this is the component of the Father and the Son, Christ.
These freaking crackers!
We're going to a restaurant, you dummy.
It's like 12 o'clock. I'm not eating anything. I'm hungry.
Oh my God.
She's hungry.
She's angry, yeah.
Freaking having any.
Oh my God. Poor baby.
Go make yourself a nice meal and go eat it somewhere away from all the men and give yourself some peace and quiet. That's my advice.
Yeah, I agree.
I have 3 brothers and I'm the youngest of 5, so I can relate to that.
Ribono Shaloim, is everyone making the preparations for Pesach?
Yeah.
Shuki, you had me laughing my ass off yesterday when you said only one hair on a woman pussy is equal to the strength of 10 horses.
You got it wrong.
What's the saying?
The saying is, what one hair from the pussy can do, 10 horses cannot do.
It's funny.
Now count how many there is.
What one from the pussy can do, 10 horses cannot do.
You're absolutely right. Allah ma'ak, uzubri warak jibali.
Stein Shalosh. Oh, he's on.
Wait, Jabali was here?
Yeah.
What the hair from one pussy can do 10 horses. Get
Not for too long.
You have any other good expressions?
Hello, Boo Boo.
Hello, Dr. Bantu.
Dr. Malabango.
Oh, that's the doctor, the medical doctor that thinks that he's the only doctor in the world.
I'm the gynecologist. Yeah.
That means he's full of shit.
So you're a gynecologist?
Yes, I am.
You know what?
Men wanting to be gynecologists always kind of me out. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what is the comment between a gynecologist and a race car mechanic?
What?
They both can see it and cannot touch it. Sorry,
They can see it, but they cannot use it.
Interesting.
Shuki, you know why sex is like a box of Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Why?
Because after you're done with the breast and the thigh, the only thing left to do is stick your bone back in the greasy box.
That's so creepy and disgusting.
Do you know what the blonde's left leg said to her right leg, Shuki?
Stop. Please.
Nothing. They never met.
This app has made me realize that sometimes I wish I was a lesbian.
Yeah, you are bisexual, though. I mean, you know.
There's still a lot of stress when it comes to the sex stuff.
I realize that sexual preference is also not a choice, because if it was a choice, I would choose definitely not to fuck with men. Because you're so gross.
Wow. You're talking about a guy on a social audio chit-chat app. I mean, are you even on Bumble or Hinge? Like, do you even go out on dates, or do you just come on here all day to clown around?
Clown around.
Exactly. So, I mean, you know.
Work, and I have a daughter as well. There's that, but, yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
There's not the Muslima bitch.
I'm just saying that, like, you shouldn't give up on love, because in Torah, the unity.
I have lots of people in my life that I love.
No, I'm talking about the unity with a man.
Right, but this is my thing. Her dad and I broke up. I already fucked that up. And I feel quite guilty about it. And if I were to bring another man into her life, and if he left again, for whatever reason, I don't ever want my daughter to feel like she comes second to somebody else. So until she's 18 and out of the house and on her own, I think I have a responsibility not to introduce other people into her life other than family and friends.
That's very honorable, Yael. Very, very honorable.
But at the same time, it's not really honorable, because, and I'm going to explain myself. The fact that you facing the truth, that you fucked it up, make you be more mature. And as a more mature woman, you're gonna know to make better decisions with your life. So that means that you're gonna be able to choose better for the next one to come.
It's true.
So with that said, you need to put a very big magnifying glass on yourself when you're choosing the next one. Introduce him to her after a while, when you very sure about yourself, because obviously the experience from her dad gave you a wrath, a bar, that you know what you want for you and for your daughter. He's never gonna be a replacement.
No, he won't.
For her father.
But this is the thing, Shuki. I went on to date a fucking Palestinian. And albeit the Palestinian never met her, they kept those two worlds completely separate. But I still clearly, when it comes to my love life, I don't make great choices. I don't make great choices of partners. And that's still something, when I look back on the pattern of all the people I've dated and whatever, I'm not great at it. I'm not gonna lie. I make very poor partners.
You said something very beautiful. Actually, I admired you for that, for the guts that you have to admit the fact. Therefore,